Hello, and thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Glad you made it today. Today I wanted to talk to you about a couple big mistakes that I see being made out there when people file their claims, and a workaround, or not really a workaround, but the right path in order to correct that when the VA denies you. So, a couple big things that you need to know about, and I'm going to get into it, but please hit that thumbs up for me. Doesn't cost a nickel, and it helps to get this information into the hands of those of us that need it. Even if you may know about this and you already understand the process, it's simply watching and liking and subscribing helps to get the word out to the broader veteran community. So I appreciate all of the support that we're getting here, and let's go ahead and get into it. So the two big mistakes that I see that are easily correctable up front, and I'm going to preface this with, take the pressure off of filing your claim. What I see people do is they get excited once they finally decide that they're going to file a claim with the VA. They make that decision, and then they start trying to just go as fast as they can to get it filed because they want to start the process. Take the pressure off and file an intent to file. Intent to file. That form, or if you start your claim in the VA website, just simply starting the claim and going through the process, not submitting, but going through the process of starting your claim, will initiate an intent to file. That intent to file will preserve your effective date as long as you file your claim within 12 months. So it takes the pressure off. Okay, so let's say it takes you 10 months to file your claim, gathering all your evidence and so forth, then you file your claim, and let's say it takes 10 months to make a decision. You're getting 10 months of the claim processing time plus the 10 months of intent to file time frame, so you get 20 months of back pay. So take the pressure off, file that intent to file, so you can do it right the first time. So one of the big things that I see that people will do is they will miss the diagnosis piece. They, especially in the VA system. So if you are filing a claim on the VA website, they make it really easy. Start adding in the conditions that you feel should be service connected. And what happens is people will start throwing in all kinds of conditions, but they have zero proof of a diagnosis. They have nothing. And the idea, I think, for the veteran, at least if I'm to put myself as a veteran into the shoes of filing the claim and just throwing stuff in there, is the VA has a medical system. They have a whole healthcare system in which they should probably be able to determine my condition. But sadly, that's not going to happen. That is not the way that it works. Filing for disability compensation requires you, as the veteran, to provide proof of your condition. Okay, important. Otherwise, they're going to just deny it. So you need to have proof of your condition, simply going to the doctor at a minimum and getting diagnosed for a condition. Then that way you can get those medical records and then submit those with your claim. Now, there's steps, right? You can go further than that, but at a minimum, you need a diagnosis from a doctor. I'm a fan of, if the doctor wants to prescribe you something for your condition, say yes and have them give you a prescription, because a prescription will help to validate your condition and also shows some level of severity. In some cases, not all, the VA's rating system will use medication as a threshold for a specific rating. So just kind of a side note. So at a minimum, the diagnosis, if get a prescription, and you can go further. Like I said, you can get a nexus letter from your doctor. That nexus letter would, say something to the effect of that they, see that this condition, and based on your history, that it is at least likely as not, or more than likely to have occurred, manifested, is as a result of whatever the right verbiage is from your service. So that's the nexus letter. You can go one more step, go into the website for the VA for disability questionnaires, and you can download the disability questionnaire that is specific to your condition, take it to your doctor, and have them fill that out. I did a whole video on this. I'm not gonna dive into it here. Garbage in is garbage out. You know what the VA is looking for because it's on the rating schedule. So if you read the rating schedule for your condition and it says X, Y, and Z for this specific rating, and you meet X, Y, and Z, then make sure X, Y, and Z is notated in the DBQ. Okay, very important. So there's different levels you can go. Bottom line is, for the first mistake, filing a claim with no medical evidence relating to your condition, essentially a diagnosis is really what you want at a minimum. The second thing that I see, the second mistake, is not establishing what they call a nexus. So a nexus is simply a link between your diagnosed condition and your time in service, is the way I like to look at it. Now there's some nuance around that, and I'll kind of done videos on that too, but I'll kind of dance around it a little bit. So the nexus is tying your condition to something that makes it service connectable. Okay, so it could be that your nexus is tying that condition to another service connected condition, therefore it would be a secondary. It could be that your nexus is tying your condition to manifesting during your time in service, like headaches, migraines, right? So migraines, GERD, that type of stuff, right? So you're trying to tie it to that time frame. Now, what happens is people will file a claim and they have no nexus, right? So what happens is for us as veterans, we don't document it in service, which we should, but we don't because of all the negative attributes surrounding going to medical. So we get out, and then time goes by, and then we decide that we're going to file a claim with the VA for our migraines, our GERD, our back issues, our arthritis, whatever, right? So you're filing a claim for all of those things, but you need to establish, one, fix that first mistake, prove that you have that diagnosis, right? And then two, prove that it is as a result of, manifested during, was caused by something regarding your military time. Now, the sad part here is that a lot of people believe that it's only show me that the military caused this condition. That is not the case. It can be, it showed up. Nobody did anything. It just magically appeared within me. For example, migraines, right? The example I like to use, you could come from a family history of migraine sufferers. Everybody in your family has migraines, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, all that good stuff. They all started getting migraines at 20, and guess what? When you turned 20, you got migraines. Military probably had nothing to do with it. You were predisposed to getting them, genetic, whatever. The VA does not care. They don't say, show me your family history of migraines. No, they just care, did you start getting migraines when you were in? You didn't have them before. Now you have them. Okay, so you need to prove now that those migraines manifested during your time in service. How do you do that? Could be that you are getting buddy statements, maybe a spouse, maybe you were married at the time, and they witnessed you with these migraines. Your doctor could write a nexus letter, and then you couple in your own statements about how, you would just go to the medic or the corpsman, they would give you a handful of Motrin, and you would move on. And then when you were stateside or whatever, you'd just go to the grocery store and pick up a big bottle of, Price Club, if anybody remembers that. Price Club or Costco type of big bottle of Motrin, right? So explaining the circumstances around it so to set yourself up in the best situation. So the second thing that everybody messes up on, not everybody, but people mess up on, is establishing that nexus. Now, what do you do when the DA denies you and you get back that letter that says, hey, look, you're not service connected, you don't have your diagnosis, there's no nexus, these things aren't service connected, zeros denied, not even zeros, right? Zeros are service connected. So not even a zero. You're getting nothing, strictly denied, that's it. What do? You're going to be irritated. That part's going to happen. But don't let that get the best of you. File an appeal. You have 12 months to do so. So what you need to do is go fix the errors, right? Go get that diagnosis if you didn't get one. Establish that nexus if you didn't already. And get all of that evidence and supply that with your appeal. Now, your appeal will be a supplemental claim because that is the one that would be necessary for establishing the new evidence into your claim. and letting that be part of the review. So you would file that supplemental claim with that additional evidence. It would get reviewed. Hopefully at that point then it gets approved, your claims. And if not, then you can appeal that again to the Board of Appeals. So with that, thanks so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Continue the great support. Let's keep getting this word out there to more of us. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.